Hi, my name is Shigufta Khan, and in this video, we are going to learn about balanced and unbalanced forces. So let's look at the balanced forces first. So say, for example, look at this car. The downward force is always the gravity force, or another name for this one is the weight force. And the upward force is the support force. And since the size of these two arrows is equal, that means that these two forces are balanced. And if the forces are balanced, then this car will not be moving up and down in a vertical direction. Let's look at these two forces. So forward force is the thrust force, and the backward force is the friction force. And since these two forces are equal in size, that means in a horizontal direction, forces are balanced. So that means that this car will be moving along to the left with the constant speed. So if forces are balanced, then object will be stationary, like it's not moving up and down in a vertical direction, or it will be moving at a constant speed. Say, for example, if a car was stationary, these two forces will still be acting, gravity force or the weight force downwards and the support force upward, but these two forces will not be there. Only then we will know if these two forces are not there, so the car is stationary. So what we are saying is that if two forces acting on an object are balanced, then that object will be either stationary or it moves with a constant speed. Let's see what happens if the forces are unbalanced. So in this one, these two vertical forces are always balanced. So let's look at the horizontal forces. So engine force or the thrust force is longer or greater than the friction force. Therefore, the unbalanced force is in the forward direction. And what it means is that the car will be accelerating. So as it's moving to the left, it will be speeding up or it will be accelerating. And let's look at this car. So again, vertical forces are balanced in a horizontal direction. Now we can see that engine force is smaller than the friction force. And that means that this car is slowing down now, okay, or it is decelerating. So because this force is greater than that one, that means unbalanced force is in a backward direction. So from these two diagrams, what we can say is, if the forces acting on an object are unbalanced, then either object will be accelerating or it will be decelerating. It will be accelerating if the forward force is larger than the backward force, and it will be decelerating if the forward force is smaller than the backward force. So that's what the difference is between balanced and unbalanced forces. Now let's look at this diagram. So this is a tug of war. So this team is applying a 300 Newton force to the right. This team is applying 300 Newton force to the left. So these two forces are equal in size and they're opposite in direction. So these are the balanced forces. And they will be stationary. So they will not be moving in this direction or that direction. Let's look at another situation. Now this team is applying 400 Newton force. This one is 300 Newton force. So forces are obviously not balanced. So unbalanced force will be to the left, and it will be the difference of these two. So 400 minus 300 will be 100, and that will be to the left. So if we have to draw a vector like this one, we will draw a small vector, 100 Newton to the left. And all of these guys, they will be accelerating or they will be speeding up because unbalanced force in this direction is greater than this one. Okay, so now let's look at this table. So on this object, there's a 750 Newton force to the right, 500 Newton force to the left. So obviously forces are unbalanced. What is the resultant force? Resultant force, there are different words that I use: net force, resultant force, or total force. So total force will be 750 minus 500, so it will be 250 Newton, and it will be to the right. And this box will be accelerating to the right. In this situation, 400 and 400, they're equal in size and opposite in direction, so forces are balanced, zero resultant force, and the object will be either stationary, or if it was initially moving, then it will be moving at a constant speed. Now in this one, this force is larger than the 300 Newton force, so forces are obviously unbalanced, and the resultant force will be a difference, so that will be 200 Newton to the left, and the direction is to the left. Now we don't know what direction the object was moving, so we cannot comment, but obviously object will be either accelerating or decelerating. Now here, equal forces, so they're balanced, zero net force, and object will be either stationary or moving at a constant speed. And the last one, 1000 Newton and 500 Newton, so forces are unbalanced, resultant force is 500 Newton, and direction is to the right. And if motion was in this direction, then it will be, object will be accelerating. If this object was moving in this direction, then it will be decelerating. So thank you, that's all for this video.